Yeah, it's the rain. Roll of thunder, hereby cry.
No slaves, no masters.
An ace on the 808. Told my girl she'll love me in the morning. Capillaries calling out. Your soul to breathe and burst into glory. Okay, capiche. I'm a freak, I'm loose up off the leash. There's an out of van, relax within the streets. Zero shit, I don't stand white, these niggas shaky. Hit the corner, swerve right, paranoia. Living life, a testament, a sentiment from Doja. So I'm up at nights, planting seeds upon the soil. Take the time, what? Better sense of ease. What I fear is not a peace to mourn as much love for the mamas without a will to speak. Sleek, they caught him slipping. Tuto, Scotty, Pippen, Boston blocked a shot again. Damn, Toro riding with the shotgun. Who of us out to plotting? But never mind the blues, ayy. Learn to know the difference. Only thing black and white here is me. It's a gray area. Most days somebody tripping, hit him hysteria. Manic depression, so it sent they have been chasing. But he hit the corner, swerve left. That boy gone. Ain't got anything, lost of us, so all inside. The hating, I'm too good. Sorry for the waiting. Bitch, I wish you would. Back up in the hood, back up in the hood. Back up in the hood, I'm back up in the hood. I'm back up in the hood, back up in the hood.
No master,
And it's all good, yeah.
and no master,
And it's all good, baby.
let go. No slaves, no
I
master,
love my community.
no
We
slaves,
deserve better what they do. To
no
treat each other
master,
better. With
no
love
slaves,
and respect. I just don't
no
understand.
master, no slaves, no master.
Well, not you, baby, you're perfect. Well, that's an impossible expectation. What I mean is that you're worth it. 1,000 salutations from the wealth of a curse, man. Well, maybe lack of love has got me feeling the worst of it. I know I love you, cause without you I'd be nothing. And this is cliche, then I guess I would be stunting. And in the land of opportunity, but so many see nothing lies in tandem with the rush, cause love is why I'm breathing. Waiting, never fading, formulating reasons not to give up. So get up and get down like this.
Keep on going and you know I always rip. And this is something cool and I love to spit. I get it, I'm a soul,
Maybe.
you don't care about no hits. You know I let you up high, son. And you know we never giving up, never get stuck, yeah. And keep going on, got golly things here in our zone. Whoop. No masters,
All
no
we got
slaves.
is time.
Brothers and sisters, what's happening? Like I always say, if you alive and breathing, guess what? We are back to conquer another day, another year, and another decade. And that was my son, Aaron, a.k.a. Lord Lamont. And that was me just ad-libbing at the end there. But that was my son's song. He made that himself and wrote the words, and he put it together. You know, it's beautiful when we can take our gifts and use them for the righteous things. You know, that's why I always honor thy ancestors, those who fought hard to get many of us in the state, in the place that we are in. Be thankful, you know, and I place that goal right over our families. May our families prosper and everything we touch turn to gold. And those we held dear, you know, that may have transitioned, you know, that meant a lot to us in our families, outside our families, you know. Those that left a righteous impact, may they rest in peace and in power. That's how you keep that righteous human spirit alive in a melanated brother or sister, young or old. And, you know, like I always say, I only speak when that great divine tells me to speak. When that great divine tells me to shut up, I shut up. Real talk. And I'm just thankful. And I always got to give a salute to the righteous, real content creators out there. Emphasis on real brother or sister, because I have learned from many. You know, I'm an observer. I learn, you know, and incorporate what I learn into my life, my own life, and try to transfer it to my family and my children. Best way I can, you know. We work through this human wall we call flesh. And once we are connected to that great divine universe, Mother Nature, that we begin to have that divine grace of contentment. I'm going to say that again. It's not easy, but A lot of us have reached this point, divine grace of contentment. And what is contentment? Being happy with who we are, which is not an easy task, but of course we have to certain things we can't let enter our psyche, as I always say. Got to protect that. And once we can protect our own psyche within ourselves, because you hear me talk about the psyche probably every podcast, because why? Look it up. It's the center of everything. It's the grand central of this human computer that we walk around in every day. So if you study that grand central, everything else will follow. That's how nature works. You work naturally on that pit of that core, that so we can get to that real thinking. And why do we do this? Why do you hear so many of us say, be the best of ourselves, get to the root, be true to oneself, so we can be ready for all things, and things, like I say, when we anticipate, we're able to make goals and set plans and be ready for things to come, because there are a lot of different things coming down the pike. That's why it's good to have an open mind, that pineal gland, open to different areas of our lives, not just one. We got to have a very high expectation these days of ourselves, mostly. And, in a righteous way, not cocky or conceited. We just, you know, we know what we know, and be humble about what we don't know. That's my thing, But always think above and beyond everything, because that's when we have that student spirit, as I always say. Remember, we are leaders and teachers, not followers. Keep that in our subconscious, because when we have a student spirit, we will learn and we will catch things to come, and that's anything. I mean, in financially down the road, could be mentally down the road, could be spiritually, you know, physical battles, internal battles. It's all kind of things. Family battles. If you have a significant other, and this brother or sister, have to focus on areas like that. And I always say my thing is always start out with a right heart. Everything else will fall into place. Of course, things are not always going to be easy. You got a right heart. You'll be willing to learn. You will learn. You have solution after solution. And what motivate us to have solutions? Results, brothers and sisters. It ain't about subscriptions. It ain't about likes. Now, we have our entertainment of this world, social media, person, place, or thing. We have our fun. We have our deep times. We have our teaching times. Because as I said, I love comedy. I'm not always a deep brother. I actually have a goofy side, and a lot of us do. And like I say, salute to the speakers, the comedians, the artists that, are just having fun with their platforms, but not trying to hurt anyone. Like I say, you got brothers and sisters that's teaching and putting stuff in that soul that can help us live a long life. Then you got content creators that's funny, and just, but I like the comedians that's like deep. They funny and also got a little knowledge. I like that too. Not just, why did the chicken cost a roll? Not that kind of comedian. I mean a real soulful comedian, that's has a good spirit and is a little knowledgeable, not about fame or money. But it's okay if you're in that position. It just depends on what the mindset, and it's just important what environment, what circles we connect ourselves to, and we got to have that divine grace. Got to have that God spirit within, that grace. That humbleness, but not to a point where we're gullible or easy or let things walk all over us. No, we just understand each other. We have high status, low status. But to me, as I said before, status is a state of mind. But because when you internalize that status is a state of mind, when you do get, this whatever goal we're making and what we're trying to reach, when we do get there, it'll make it that much more sweet. That's why it's cool. That's why it's just, man, so important to just work that position that great divine gives us. Man, because that's all that great divine wants, is to give it just a little attention, and it will give us an abundance of things to do, think, will be in our spirit. As I said many times, I said before, if we have something in our spirit, some kind of gift or something that make us feel good and nothing bad, and it bothers us. We're always sleeping on it. Especially if you're looking to lift other brothers and sisters or save souls. That's a song I just uploaded probably a few minutes ago. And you feel that in your spirit of wanting to help others, and whatever calling it is. If it bothers you and it's always on your mind, that's your calling. And don't miss your calling. Real talk, whatever it is. I don't care if the whole world got they back turned on you. What's that one great positive force that'll listen? That great divine. When the great divine, Mother Nature, that power that you're putting out, that we put out as righteous brothers and sisters, when no one else is listening, that divine spirit is listening. That's why I say divine grace uh, builds contentment. Divine grace of contentment, man. But you have to have that grace in there. You got to have a little grace. Grace gives us ease. Gives us comfort within. And I don't mean like we stay comfortable and we don't try new things, because the only way we will soar or ascend or expand that light that we have inside, that's shining outside, we do have to explore and seek new things, because especially if we're speaking, teaching, and we're trying to, teach another, we definitely have to study, because every individual is different. So, we can't put all eggs in one basket, that's why I say you have to have that pineal gland, but the more we up in levels, the more heightened our awareness becomes. It'll become less complicated to discern person, place, or thing, because we have that grace. We have that divine grace of contentment, man. And I know it's easier said than done, but when you do finally reach a place of contentment, you'll thank yourself later, because never look at what another individual has. I'm telling you, that'll mess with your psyche, that'll mess with your mind. We be inspired by another brother or sister, and let it motivate us to be at a certain status. Not like them, but just like, okay, now I'm gonna get on my walk and I'm gonna improve my thing, and we learn from each other. It's beautiful when we can do that. When stop looking at what another individual has, you'll get nowhere doing that, because that's why I say that's how I came up with this title, and I've always kind of been a content brother. I never been a jealous type, hating type. I'll say I might be a little oddballish. Sometimes I can come off a little weird. I've kind of noticed that about myself over the years, and that's contentment. And when we finally are self-aware, we won't feel weird, and we will come in tune with our little quirks and our little things, because as actually when we do become self-aware, brother or sister, young or old, some of our little quirks can be a little funny. We'll laugh at it. We won't think it's so deep, and so we won't be like that as we get mature, up in levels. Remember, maturity could be levels of self-awareness or age, because I always got to put emphasis on that, because you can be long we can be young and be very self-aware. I've experienced this, because remember, I volunteer at my 8-year-old school, Ethan. As like I say, I walk them to the bus stop every morning, him and his sister Chloe, and they both go to the same school, and they are very smart, and they're siblings. Even though each one of them will go through their little struggles, as we all do. But as we all know, this day and age, this generation, very intelligent. We just got to guide them in the right direction. That's why I'm putting my impact in there, as far as volunteering at the school, and divine grace of contentment helps with this. That's why we have to have something we love to do outside this social media sometimes, to kind of keep us focused, and not looking at numbers and subscriptions and and likes and all that. Not getting caught up in that, doing other things, connecting with children or brothers and sisters when we can. I know a lot of us are online, and a lot of us live out of town. We can't connect, but it's beautiful when we do. I'm talking about in the cities we living in, wherever, with cities or country, or wherever we're living. If we have a brothers or sisters or family members that we can have human contact, do that, because that keep us connected to reality. That's why I like volunteering and Spending time with my family when I can. I got to work on that. Being around my family, I got to spend more time with my family. That's an area I got to work on. So I don't want to. We got to be honest with ourselves, because I like I say, I love solitude, but I got to work on bringing myself out of that. I got to spend time with others. I can't, I got to do it. I got to do more than speak it. You know, I got to practice what I teach, so to speak. Notice I didn't say preach. I said teach, because, we learn from a teacher. We only feel good from a preacher, depending on what kind of preacher it is. But let's stick to teaching, because, as I said, when we learn from a real righteous brother or sister that's real to the pit of the soul and has been studying, let's say, decades, man, you learn from a teacher, you never forget it. It stays with you forever. I have experienced this. I'm telling you, but if you really learn and, see through the differences, it stays with you forever. If you got a preacher that's just jumping around, it just hits your head. It don't hit your soul. We need teachings to hit our soul. And divine grace helps with this. We have to have contentment. We have to be content with who we are. That's the only way that we'll ever grow, we'll advance, we'll ascend. We have to be content with where we are. We have to be appreciative of what that great divine, the gift that it gives us. We can't push. We don't give up. We don't push, but we don't give up. I'm telling you, once we connect to that higher force, that higher supreme being, all it takes is one result, and you will be content. That's the only way things gonna work in this life. If you are content with who you are. Again, not that we stay in our comfort zones, but be content with who we are. I'm telling you, great things will come. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. They will come. We'll know knowledge about things. We'll be able to prepare for things. Like I said, I don't care if it's financial, mental, spiritual. If you're seeking knowledge and you have a right heart and you're looking to grow and be the best of oneself, brother or sister, you'll be ready for things to come. Now, will everything be easy? No. Some things you'll have to do strategically. But when you have set plans and you have set goals, it won't be as bad. It won't be that bad. When things that come at us, because things are coming at us at all angles out here in this life. Real talk. It's trying to attack the mind, the body, the soul. It's trying to affect what we see, hear, and feel. It's trying to get in that psyche. Just take a look around. Person, place, or thing, social media, news, entertainers, rappers, celebrities, you name it, all kind of things, not to mention our own personal lives. So that's why we got to stay on guard and be the generals that a lot of us are out here, and just continue being a general, because that's the only way you going to make it in this life, hands down. There's no such thing as weak. There is concerns, as I learned from a great brother. There are concerns. Anything, man, it's only a problem if we think it's a problem in our mind. Just like stress. What do I always say about stress? Stress is the root of all sickness. Look it up. It's 7 symptoms of stress. And stress has the same symptoms as this thing that was going around that we had to wear a mask. It's same symptoms, real talk. If you study stress, you will avoid stress. You will either have no stress or very little stress at all. That's why you never hear me say that word unless I'm using it in an example or an analogy. Because I'm telling you, when we connect to that divine grace, we will have contentment. When we do appreciate what we have, because when you're confident in that divine spirit, great things will come. So you don't have to push. Why? I don't understand why people always take the wrong route. They step out of that divine zone, and then guess what'll happen? You end up coming right back, because nothing is more powerful than that higher supreme being. I don't give a damn who we are. So if you step out trying to do devilish things and you're evil and you're stepping on people, you're selfish and you're narcissistic, at some point you're going to come full circle. You're going to come right back to that great divine. And you're like, well, I'm telling you. So we might as well just try to be the rightest brother and sister we can possibly be, and be real with ourselves. I don't care what kind of quirks we have. Like I say, if you're aware of yourself, you will laugh at some of your quirks, as long as it ain't nothing bad or evil. I'm just talking about the little silly, goofy parts of us. Don't look at it as weird. It's just a part of who we are. And that's a part of having divine grace of contentment. We just love ourselves, Because as many of us say, if we don't love ourselves, and I'm talking about that deep-rooted love, that divine love, where you let nothing waver or penetrate it, that kind of love. Man, if you don't have that kind of love, when you really understand yourself, how the hell you gonna love or understand anyone else? Because it's always gonna start with self, deep within. Because, man, as I said, the psyche is the grand central of it all. So you better pay attention to your psyche. Then you can be ready financially, mentally, spiritually, physically, ready to deflect things out here in this toxic matrix. Real talk. Because when you're on the outside of it, you see it all. I mean, like many of our like-minded reachers and teachers out here, maybe members in our family, children, those that are really, truly, super awakened, we see it all, just different walks, different teachings, different ideologies. But those that are real to the pit of the soul, we have divine grace of contentment. We have practiced it, but that don't mean we soft. We also see those that are toxic, person, place, or thing. But we don't have to do nothing, do we? We don't have to do a righteous brother and sister that's righteous to the pit of the soul. We don't worry about things like that because we're too busy trying to teach, trying to give those knowledge about things so they won't miss stuff, so we can be ready for things to come. That's what we focus on, those that are reaching and teaching. Salute. That's what a real like-minded reacher and teacher or brother, that's what we focus on. And trying to enjoy our life. I always got to throw that joy in there. That's why I say I like comedians, I like artists, those who speak and teach and, informing us on things to come. And that's beautiful that's the one main reason why we can't be mixed up in toxicity, because we won't be ready for things to come. And that could be anything, because just take a look abroad, look around, wars going on, things going on in other states and other cities. And I just like to be aware of little things that's going on. Not that I want to know everything, but like a lot of us that are deeply rooted in our soul about teaching and this revolution and not playing, we got to be aware of things, can't get caught up in our feelings and trying to stomp on somebody and get mixed up in, like I said, likes and subscriptions. And we always say, bring ourselves back to a centering mechanism. Remember, whether we're speaking or we're doing something in the community, on social media, outside social media, something I have to remind myself. This is advice I would give to others. Don't forget what started us doing this in the first place. That's what centers me, keeps me on track. So just a little advice. And stay the generals, man, that we are. Man, never forget how powerful we are and how powerful we can be. And the powerful things we are doing, even though it seems like things be going wrong, but there's a lot of good things that's happening in this life. So, and one good thing that's happening is I see some great brothers and sisters out there, as well as in my family. That's what I'm going to focus on. I'm not going to let that devil intervene on my divine thoughts or our divine thoughts, because divine grace, man, makes for a great contentment. Divine grace of contentment is a beautiful thing to have. Look up contentment, look up divine, what it does for the mind, body, and soul. Because one thing melanated brothers and sisters have is a great divine spirit, and we all have divine abilities. But we only can search inside we know what that ability is, a divine ability is. And it can be in many areas. Remember, not just one or two or three things. It's in many areas. We got a lot of brilliant minds out there. So to my brilliant brothers and sisters, young or old, stay brilliant, stay fired up, and be one with that great, great divine. So that's my thought. And as I said, divine grace of contentment is a beautiful thing if we study it, and really pay attention to everything, the world, person, place, or thing, not just one area. We got to broaden that brain if we want to be parallel with that higher supreme being. So that's my thought. And I honor my family. I honor your family. I honor my children, their mothers, brothers and sisters all over the world. May you please keep that ultimate peace in your part of the world, wherever you are right now. Salute.
Yeah. It's the rain. Roll of thunder,
master,
hereby cried.
no slaves, no master.
An ace on the 808. Told my girl she love me in the morning. Capillaries calling out. Your soul to breathe and burst into glory. Okay, capiche. I'm a freak, I'm loose up off the leash. Is an out of van, relax within the streets. Zero shit, I don't stand white, these niggas shaky. Hit the corner, swerve right, paranoia. Living life, a testament, a sentiment from Doja. So I'm up at nights, planting seeds upon the soil. Take the time, what? Better sense of ease. What I feel is not a peace to mourn as much love for the mamas without a will to speak. Sleek, they caught him slipping. Tuto, Scotty, Pippen, Boston blocked the shot again. Damn, Toro riding with the shotgun. Who of us out to plotting? But never mind the blues, ayy. Learn to know the difference. Only thing black and white here is me.